Okay, what is up, ladies and gents? Welcome to the third episode of our stream slash podcast. Still leveling DK, obviously. I'm getting him to the maximum, I have zero doubts. The class is just pure fun to play, pure pleasure. I'm right now pretty much at the same place, at the same level where we've left off at the second episode. Still level 64. And yeah, cannot wait to get level to 70 levels, so this way we're gonna fly pretty much as quickly as almost possible at 280 instead of 150, which is nearly 2 times faster, which is a big difference. And yeah, let's just get going slowly and surely and just complete all the stuff, you know? Yeah, what do we need here then? We need to spray some people, man. That's good. Sweet DPS, man. I think Blizzard executed the idea of creating this class as DK very well. I tried this class back in the Wrath of the Lich King days, pretty much once as the expansion came out. I was a human DK. I leveled for like until level 60 something, 62 or 3, and yeah, it was a pure pleasure. If I recall correctly, I was playing as Blood DK. It was so easy to play. You just get healed all the time, you never die. And yeah, a lot of good memories, man. A lot of good memories. Sweet, man. Did some arena today. Kind of, some games went well, others kind of were pathetic, kind of just wiped immediately. Yeah, you know, some people do perform well under the stress. I know that I do sometimes, as well as I don't sometimes. It just depends on some things, you know. Definitely got some work to do on my kind of just mental approach and the way that I guess, kind of go through the pressure. I do work as a chef for over 8 years now. I started when I was 17. What I'm trying to say is I believe I do have a bit of experience, a fair amount of experience for a young guy. How to go through the stress and how to handle yourself in the stress without really breaking down and underperforming in a terrible fashion. But sometimes you just don't. As people in Estonia say, that not all days are brothers, you know. So some days are good and some just not. And by the way, I was watching those latest news with Conor McGregor. First of all, in case you didn't know, allow me to just slightly brief you in. Pretty much he attacked the boss where Khabib was like resting in, you know, and just waiting for some stuff. The reason is because like 2 or 3 days ago, Khabib had a conflict with this Russian Hammer, the friend of Conor. Because the Russian Hammer, he said something weird about Khabib. And they were both Russian guys and they get pissed immediately, you know. And so pretty much Khabib disrespected the friend of Conor. And Conor is a very loyal friend. He flew all the way from from Ireland, sorry, to America. Just to kind of just mess up with Khabib, you know. And instead of just going and talking directly or just trying to get a fight, he brought with himself like 20 friends, and they attacked the boss. So they were like picking all the random items you can find, and they were just throwing in the boss. You know, it might sound as if it's not a big deal, but the items they were taking were actually quite big and heavy. And on some videos you can see them just breaking the window, and the glass just shatters and flies into like this Michael Chiesa, one of the UFC fighters, and apparently his face is damaged, and then there's a second guy, I don't remember his name, sorry, and I think he got some glass shatters fly straight into his eye. So I hope he will not lose his ability to see things. Damn, losing an eye is just a terrible thing, you know. You wouldn't wish that upon your worst enemy, would you? And at first I was shocked. I'm still shocked. I think Connor's standards are and should be much higher. He kind of messed up in a big way. He has a beautiful girlfriend, kids, you know, pretty much a family, and kind of at that point I would imagine you would think about your family first and then your ambitions. Well, not your ambitions, but your weird ideas, let's put it this way. Ambitions should never fade away because of a family. But this thing is just, yeah, it was a bit sad, and nobody knows really how this story is gonna end. I hope it's gonna be okay. I hope he will just pay the fine and just carry on, you know. But pretty much right now he might be suspended for how long, nobody knows. Maybe 6 months, maybe another year or whatever. If that's what he wanted, okay, congrats Connor, you got what you wanted, you know, but I don't know, it's hard to comment. All I know that he did a lot of things wrong. He was attacking the boss where the Khabib was, because he damaged a lot of other fighters who had nothing to do with the beef between Khabib and Conor and the friends of Conor and all that stuff. And Dana White was like in shock. People did ask him, is he going to fire Conor? And you could see that he kind of didn't want to really like say like, yes, I will or something. They're still friends, at least. You know, Dana White is smart enough to understand that regardless, pretty much as long as Conor doesn't kill anyone openly, then Conor is still the man of the UFC. I know personally that I was a fan of the UFC for a long time. Well, relatively, I just started watching UFC around like 5 or 6 years ago. And when I went to the army back in 2014, I stopped watching UFC like completely. And I doubt that I would return if it wasn't for Conor McGregor. And I'm not giving him any extra credit. I'm just saying how it is. I'm calling it for what it is, you know. Because pretty much I heard some like insane thing about the Irish guy, you know, he's like a rock star. And I checked one of his videos, like an interview, and the rest is history, man. He's just taken away and you go on a ride, so definitely Conor is the reason why I'm a fan. Why actually I'm a supporter of the UFC. And I did buy the pay-per-view when it came to the fight between Conor and Floyd Mayweather. You know, that was the first pay-per-view I ever bought, man. And yeah, what can I say, man? What can I say? I just hope Conor will just not get way too deep into trouble. I don't want to see this guy just losing everything. And when it comes to Khabib, damn, he was supposed to fight with Tony Ferguson. Apparently Tony was wearing his shades and he was way too cool to take them off. And he kind of just tripped over some wire on the ground. He damaged his like ankle or whatever, so he won't be able to perform. Then they switch Tony to even a better opponent, in my opinion, Max Holloway, the champ. And for some weird reason, doctors decided to suspend Max Holloway because he's not medically fit to fight, whatever it means. And he wanted to fight, but they just took him off, you know. And now, Raging Al, you know, Al Quinta will be opponent of Khabib. Which for me is like, they shouldn't even bother, I don't know. Raging Al, that's just pathetic. I mean, the guy's... he's kind of weird, I don't know. A good fighter, I give him that, but... I do remember him from The Ultimate Fighter. He seemed very cool and down to earth, but all of a sudden he became the Raging Al, you know, a new thing, I guess. Yeah, if you ask me personally, I feel zero excitement. Zero. Like, none. So that's not good. To be honest, I would say it this way, that I feel more excitement towards Rose, Namajunas, and Joanna, you know, the second fight. Because the first one was so quick. Joanna just got her arrogant ass knocked out, you know. And Rose was the champ, and she's the champ, and I think she has a good chance to be a champ for a little while. So that's gonna be interesting. But I heard that Rose, she was quite impacted by the behavior of the Connor. She, thank God, she wasn't damaged or anything, but she was like in shock. She was like, I don't know, taken away by this whole thing. So yeah. But if I think Connor, speaking of Connor once again, the thing he did is terrible. No excuses. But if you think from a point of view of like a commercial, then Connor is pretty much the biggest newsmaker in the UFC, bigger than freaking Ariel Helwani, who is quite sneaky in his attitude in many different ways. So when I look at this guy, he's good, I think, but he's kind of willing to do whatever it takes to get what he wants, you know. That's not a bad thing, but, you know, I think everything is good in moderation, almost everything, and he sometimes just forgets to have that kind of moderation. Because to me it seems, you know, he will be like nearly almost a friend of Connor, and then just kind of just be cold to him whenever he feels that Connor doesn't give him the extra attention. Just kind of pathetic, if you ask me. But yeah, the boss incident in the fight, with the near fight with the Khabib and like Michael Chiesa getting damaged, is pretty much it makes a lot of news, and many people who otherwise wouldn't be watching the UFC right now, they are. And I reckon a lot of people who didn't even know about the UFC, now they do, because this incident just goes around the world right now. And yeah, so pretty much, if the UFC will do everything the right way, then shortly after they can organize the fight between the Connor and Khabib in Russia, in Moscow. And this event, man, the Moscow will stop for like a whole day. I mean, whoa, I will try to get a ticket. I live quite, relatively speaking, not far away from Moscow. It will take me like a day to get there, you know? If I go, obviously, by train. If I go by the plane, less than 2 hours, you know? And, yeah, so once again, if they do everything the right way, then the fight between Khabib and Connor will have even more backstory and more of a reason to be at the first place. And it's gonna be, I think, by far the biggest pay-per-view, you know? They could sell out this thing in a big way, man. It's gonna be epic. So, yeah. Unless the UFC doesn't play it right, and... Or maybe I shouldn't say doesn't play it right, or unless UFC will make it right, and they will suspend Connor. And, you know, he will be off for another year. But I wonder how many people will sue Connor, you know, because, yeah, some people got damaged, even the UFC workers. Not the UFC fighters, but the UFC workers, they were damaged, you know, like someone got his, like, finger broken or something. And... yeah, just people might sue him, you know, and he's got a lot of money, so for how much he will be sued, I don't know, like, what, like 1 million, 2 million, 3 million, 10 million, maybe even everything, you know? These days you never know. And yeah, Dana White said that he spoke to Connor pretty much at the same day after this boss incident, and Connor pretty much justified his action, meaning that he thinks that he was right in what he did. So yeah, let's just wait and see. Let's just wait and see. And speaking of reactions of the people, you know, some people say that Connor is a piece of shit, a terrible person, like fuck him and all that stuff. But there are some other people who, they're gonna have a bit of a point, to be honest. Just depends all from the perspective that which you have. Is that they say that, you know, like, oh, I wish I had a friend like a Connor, meaning a friend who would actually stand up for you whenever you are in trouble. And I do understand that perspective. And you know, in like in old-fashioned way, in a romantic way, you know, homo, in like just a beautiful way, it kind of makes sense, you know, to have a friend who actually would stand up for you, fly across the whole fucking world just to tell a guy like, you never talk to my friend like this, you know. That's kind of cool. You gotta give the credit to the Irishman. And yeah, I think Conor would actually mess much more with Khabib's head if he would actually like nicely just come up to him and approach him, especially in Russian language. Imagine if by the time the Conor will fight Khabib, he could learn the sentence in Russian. So if the Conor shows up for the first time in Moscow, Russia, and he approaches Khabib before the fight in Russian, like I don't know, like suka blять, я тебя там вырублю, something between those lines, like bitch, I'm gonna knock you out, you know. This will get in his mind, regardless of how many bears he will fight. If you fight an Irishman and you don't expect him to talk with you in Russian, and he does, that kind of might just be a bit of a game changer, you know. So yeah, what can I say, man? Another one of our friends, I'm not sure that this guy's a UFC fighter, who was actually helping Conor to attack the boss and all that stuff. Just kind of feels weird to attack the boss. I guess if there would be bosses to attack in the Warcraft, then I wouldn't feel that weird, but yeah, one of the friends of Conor who actually, I think, is not the UFC fighter. And I doubt that this guy is a rich guy, no? I hope he is. If that's the case, then great. But he's pretty much, he's getting fined by like $25,000. 25,000. I'm sure Conor's gonna pay for him. I mean, he should, right? If he won't, then this guy is just in some deep trouble, man. Deep trouble.
What troubles you?
What troubles you, boy? Wait, let's get here right now. If there's a path that I can unlock, then I can fly to the New Agamant. I like this name of the camp. New Agamant. Sounds good. Look at this zone, man. It's freaking beautiful. I've seen the video. I think it happened somewhere like in Georgia or something. There was like, I'm not sure how this thing is called, where you can just kind of just slide on this carousel, you know, but pretty much it was like somewhere in the mountains with the snow, and people were like, you know, snowboarding and all that stuff, and they were sitting and just going down, and pretty much at the end of this thing that spins right now, right, the whole rope in the system, something got stuck there, and those things on which you ride, they were just getting all crushed in this region, and people were just getting like sucked inside there into the scraps of metal and all that stuff. Boy, that looks even more terrible than anything you could see in a good horror movie, you know? It's really bad. Damn, you wouldn't wish that to your worst enemy, man. Sweet, unlocked.
I have much to offer.
Let us visit for a while.
If you think about how many different races you can find in Northrend, then I feel as if it's safe to assume that, or just to suggest maybe, that they could have added actually the allied races even back in this expansion, because you have so many different races, man. It's yeah, something. Island shoal tusk meat. Skinnable. I got no skinning, boy. I will turn in the quest and then complete the quests, because right now turning the quest it will be pretty much at the same mini island, and yeah.
What's up? Be good.
Well, I'm really is quite far away. I will finish off the quest and then figure out the path. But how the fuck did Tony Ferguson actually mess it all up, man? A great card. Dang. Sad. Yeah, boy, good DPS, let's go. Sweet. And by the way, I did level, you know, let's put it this way, behind the scenes, because who wants to see leveling profession? That's not a big deal. Yeah, so right now, I can't go higher, because I'm level 64, I need to be 75 if I want to. So yeah, my engineering is at the maximum, and first aid pretty much as well. So yeah. I mean, I can go higher when it comes to the first aid, but I won't be able to use the bandages, so I'll keep it at that right now. Dropping the bombs, boy. It's funny how you can actually feel the difference of leveling, for example, in Legion and in Northrend. Because I don't think... Yeah, they changed the whole story with, you know, the scaling system and all that stuff, which is great. No complaints at all. And I'm not saying anything in a negative way as well, by the way, just so you know. But it takes a bit of a... Actually, a much longer time to level Northrend. Because, you know, even the drop rate is a bit smaller, and the mobs, they don't spawn that quickly, so you can feel a bit of a contrast, a bit of a difference. Which I hope they... I think and hope that they will keep, you know. You don't want to make it all, like, smooth and on the same level, because if you do, then the game will kind of just lose a bit of a history that it has, you know. The same thing comes to the graphics. Do you want to see the whole game being polished, as if it's all new completely? I don't know. I don't want to. Maybe we can have two versions of a polished one completely. Imagine in 10 years, even those graphics right now here, not even these. They are old already, but they will be even older in 10 years. But if you polish it all up and make it all fresh and new, then it's all gonna look like it's just like a whole piece, right? And when it doesn't, like it doesn't right now, then you can feel like, oh right, this is the old expansion. It was different back then, you know. You can just appreciate what you have right now. Mass stun. I don't want to die, come on. Good. I need one item more. So yeah, I hope I made my point clear enough, is that keep those old graphics. They still look good, to be honest. Especially if you put your game on the maximum resolution, you know. I played for a little while on pretty much on the minimum resolutions on my iMac, because it's quite old and it couldn't handle anything higher than minimum, which is terrible if you think about this thing. And so yeah, for me to play right now, the pretty much the highest resolution there is just feels like a pure pleasure. And for the first 2 weeks, I would say it was like very unusual because I could see so far away into the distance, you know. Because before I wouldn't be able to see those things in the sky, you know, or that mountain there, you know. It would have been just all blurry and just yeah, not good. Perfect. And yeah, once again, as professions, I do have mining and engineering. And I do have engineering on maximum level. Well, almost, or it is maximum on my Paladin. On Pally, I got Goblin engineering. And on DK, obviously, I have to be a genius. Figure out that thing, I went to Gnomish engineering. So, I already have some things that I didn't have previously. Some Gnomish stuff. For example, the Gnomish X-ray specs. It's a funny item that, first of all, gives you these weird looking glasses. And then you can see all the players.
Yo, you little bitch.
Being naked. What's up, man?
Yo, what's up, man? How you doing, bro?
Doing good, man.
Oh.
What you doing, man?
Try and do some RBGs or something.
Okay.
Some arena or some shit, I don't know.
Well, yeah, you previously bounced away like a bitch, like after a second loss, man. What
Yeah, I
happened
couldn't
to
be
you?
honest.
Did you overdose with PvP action today?
Yeah.
And you still do the same shit? You think it's gonna be okay?
That's all I gotta do, mate.
I don't think so, man.
What else should I do? Come level the DK. Fuck that. That DK is the worst thing I ever made.
Well, I figure out that you gave up on a DK, yeah?
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I can't do it. I can't do the leveling process. Again, man.
I think you're forgetting something is that the leveling process very heavily depends on the mount that you have. On level 70 you get 280 mounts, which is actually nearly 2 times faster than 150 mounts.
Nah, dungeons and that, like.
No, but still the flying mount is the big difference. It's a big
But
fucking
how long?
difference.
I think I can do more levels in like Legion World than leveling in fucking wherever that place was.
Well, the Legion stuff is actually out of balance when it comes to leveling, because you can literally level up from 100 to 110 nearly in
Like
in
3-4
one day.
hours.
Like like 10 hours. That's
Yeah, you can do it in a day
that's
easy.
in a day easy without any pressure. But this leveling,
I know,
yeah,
but it's top level, man. Like, do you know what I mean? The top 10 levels shouldn't be harder than getting from 60 to 70.
yeah, I guess so.
It's fucking crazy. It should take long, but it shouldn't take that fucking long.
You know, I did this Hellfire Peninsula, the first leveling zone in the Outland, many times. And
Yeah.
last time I did it less than like 4 months ago. Like completed all the quests, and I can say right away that Hellfire Peninsula, it feels much more compact than Holding Fjord.
Do you mean the Outland in general?
Well, I wouldn't go as far as to speak about the whole Outland, because that's a bit too deep subject, but at the release, the starting zone is definitely much easier and faster in the Outland. It
That's true.
It is, in so many ways. Maybe first 5-10 quests are a bit like, you have to do some running and all that stuff, but after you will just end up having like 15 quests. You pick them all up at the same time and just carry on.
Yeah, true.
Oh, yeah.
think I'm getting sick, man.
You need to get some rest, man.
Yeah, I know. I'll go back to work on Sunday night.
Holy crap, man.
Go sort some shit out. Hopefully they'll let me go again, man.
May I help? Is it again when you...
Pop it, pop it. You don't play no other games, do you, Rolly, man?
Not
yeah,
yet.
PUBG and none of that shit, do you?
Say what?
You haven't got PUBG or any of that, have you?
The only games that I have right now on my Windows is the Warcraft, the Fortnite, and the Mafia 3.
Mafia 3.
Yeah.
Do you like it? It's quite a good game, actually.
Well, I'm a huge fan of Mafia 1. I played this game when it came out. If I recall correctly, it came out pretty much at the same time with GTA San Andreas.
Yeah, yeah.
And
San Andreas was the best.
I smashed San Andreas very quickly. It was the best for me when it came out. But looking at this, you know there is such a thing as a test of time, yeah?
Yeah.
The Mafia 1, it survives the test of time. It actually wrecks the fucking test of time. And in time it becomes only better. And San Andreas, in time, became a piece of shit to me.
Shit, yeah.
You can't play this game. You can't. Yeah, it's funny. Yo, nigga, my man, CJ. Big smoke, motherfucker. Let's fuck some bitches and all that stuff. Yeah, it's fun. But after a little while, it becomes a shit. It makes no sense. It's pathetic. It's for the kids.
I used to like, you could hit the gym though, couldn't you?
You could
actually catch it on sides. That was fun though.
I wish it was that easy in fucking real life. Just like 20 minutes and you're buffed, you know. That is not the case. Unless you take the fucking steroids. Yeah, but pretty much the Mafia 1 is still an epic game. I didn't play Mafia 2 at all. Maybe I should get it as well, but yeah, Mafia 3 is a lot of fun. A lot of fun, man.
Mafia 3 is good, yeah, man.
Yeah, pure graphics, good design, good script.
You ever played Titanfall?
What is that?
Like a game where it's like Call of Duty, but then every, like, if you get like a few kills,
yeah,
or like it's like you build. I don't know. It's weird to explain. Every like minute or so, you'll get like a Titan. There's like 10 different Titans. You get to customize with massive machines, and like you make it drop on the floor, and it falls from the sky, and you get in and you smack the fuck out of everyone else.
Oh, that sounds good, man.
Yeah, it's fun, mate. It's real fun.
Well, listen, when it comes to gaming, I'm actually quite knowledgeable when it comes to PlayStation 1.
Did you ever play Vex?
Was that the PlayStation game?
Yeah, I think so.
Vex, maybe...
Everyone I asked that if they played it, they always say no. They don't remember it.
Wait, let me Google this shit.
Wasn't crazy big, like.
Vex, it's Victor Echo X-Ray, yeah? PS1.
Yeah. It might be 2 actors.
No, it's PlayStation 2, boy. It's not.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, you would have no graphics like this on PlayStation 1. Yeah, but so I played Crash Bandicoot pretty much all the parts, the Rayman and Tomb Raider, which was terrible. The Fifth Element, the most fucked up game there is. The Mickey Mouse from the Disney, which was fucking epic. The Grinch. Shit, you name it, man, pretty much, yeah. And you know what? Back then, those games were extremely pricey. And
yeah, I bet.
My family wasn't broke, but it wasn't fucking Conor McGregor type shit rich, you know? And yeah, my parents were very kind towards me and my brother, because they would always save up money, no matter how tough it was to, and they would buy us. And we were not buying those, like, you know, pirate versions, illegal versions.
Yeah.
We were buying the official ones, and oh boy. Up to this day, I will always be thankful, man. And I still have PlayStation 1, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, without scratches, it's not broken, still works. That's something I will never sell, man. I will keep it forever. Who knows? Maybe in a century, it's gonna be fucking sold on the auction house easily, man. Because you got all these old iMacs being sold for millions, you know. I'll keep my fucking PlayStation 1, boy.
Even the Nintendo 64 and that.
I did one retard thing, though, that I will not forgive myself for. I sold some of my games for nearly just for free of PlayStation 1.
You know Pokemon cards?
Pokemon cards, what is that?
Pokemon.
Pokemon, yeah. With cards, you mean papers, yeah?
No, like, you know what Pokemon is, yeah?
Yeah, no shit, Sherlock. Of course I do. You mean cards like the collectible cards, yeah?
Yeah, yeah. Do you not remember that old? You never collect the cards when you were young.
I have it. I have it. I have a full album, almost the whole set, man.
Yeah.
I do, yeah.
Fucking hell, that must be worth something.
Unfortunately, me and my brother, we were farming this thing like no lifers, yeah? And there were like, for example, from 1 to 50 we have like 49, but we couldn't get like, for example, number 18, yeah? And we were buying and buying and buying and we could never get number 18, like fuck's sake. So there's still some missing, you know, still some missing.
Shit, man.
And you can't really buy them anymore because these are the old cards. They don't make them anymore.
Yeah, you can't buy. Yeah, you can't buy the old ones. You can on like eBay and shit, but it costs you a bit.
Yeah.
There's a guy that sold his whole Pokemon set for 520,000.
Oh my god.
I know.
But you know, do you know this story about Samsung?
Samsung.
Yeah, Samsung. That's the name. That's the name and the family name. Sam the Sung. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, like Samsung.
No, there was a guy with the name Sam, and his second name was Sung.
Nah.
Okay, so long story short, this guy Sam Sung, he works at the Apple company, yeah.
Yeah.
And at the Apple store, they give you like a card, like a tag that you wear on your chest, yeah. You know, like like a card.
Yeah, like a
like you're a representative and all that stuff of the Apple store. And so pretty much it's like a card, like a big card, like iPhone Plus, but a bit bigger, you know. And there's some Apple logo, like all official, and like a representative or employee of the Apple, whatever it says, and then it writes your name.
Yeah.
And since Samsung and Apple right now are the rivals, right, when it comes to the phones and all that stuff, it was a bit of a paradox and a funny thing to have a worker on the Apple side with that name.
Yeah.
And this guy actually, the real Samsung, the guy who worked in the Apple company, he sold his card, if I recall correctly, for a couple of thousands on the eBay like 10 years ago, yeah? Holy shit, whoever bought this thing, I hope he kept this thing for good, because this story already became a legend, okay? And believe me, in 50 years it's gonna be sold for millions. I just know this thing.
Probably. You know Domino's? Oh no, you don't know it, do you?
What's that, Domino's?
There's a pizza company. You ever heard of it?
I heard. For sure I heard, yeah?
Yeah, if you work for them for 20 years, they give you a really nice Rolex with the Domino's logo and on the face. And they get sold for about 32 grand, man.
Okay.
Crazy, isn't it?
Well, yeah, I mean, 20 years, that's a bit of a tricky thing, you know? Because you want to have a person in your company for 20 years, and the only way...
No, but a lot of people fucking work in the same place for 20 years.
Well, yeah, good point. Yeah,
loads of people do, man.
You have a point. Then what I would say is that it's very nice on their behalf. Enough said. No, you have a point that a lot of people do that thing. For them, that's okay, you know, to work for someone for 20 years and be.
I couldn't do it. Fuck that.
Well, we all different, yeah. We're all different. For some, it's okay. For others, it's not. All I can say is if you're gonna be a happy person after working for someone for 20 years, then God bless you, and I wish you all the best.
And it, trust me, literally, man.
I had a funny story when it comes to work. I was working in one place, and the head chef, he wasn't that reactive. I was a sous chef, yeah. So whenever he would leave, I would replace him. Me and him would get along perfectly. We never had any conflicts, man. Like, yeah, I'm not gonna call his name, just to keep his privacy, you know. But he lived in UK for like 15 years, but he was from Poland, okay?
Yeah.
And we were getting along nicely, but eventually, he pretty much left the team. And it's never a good thing when the head chef leaves the project. And it wasn't like we opened this restaurant together. I was actually helping him to to prepare many things, to order things. We actually were, even the last 2 weeks, we were helping builders to finish the kitchen, you know?
Yeah.
So it was like a very fresh, new project. Everything was new. So we
Yeah,
worked
yeah.
a little under the year, and then he decided to leave. And I didn't like this thing, like head chef leaves, you know, fuck that. That's not the same thing. And I decided to pretty much shortly after bounce away as well. And I did. And when I was working in the new place, once again from the scratch, yeah?
Yeah.
I was looking for new people who I wanted to hire. And I had a couple of people in my memory from the place where the head chef left, yeah? So pretty much shortly after I left the place after the head chef, I'm in a new place, I'm looking for a team, and I decided to write a couple of people with who I worked there. Like, hey, you want to come to the new place, this and that, we offer this money, which was actually more than the place where we worked before, yeah? And they liked the conditions, and some actually agreed to come. But what happened was, eventually, like the manager of this restaurant, where the head chef left, and then I did, she found out that I was working on a new place, and I was like, well, she took this thing as if I was trying to steal people from the place. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm working in the new restaurant, I'm hiring people, consulting with the general manager, I'm telling him, he agrees, disagrees, we talk, we get the new people, and all of a sudden when I was sitting in the office and doing the, like, writing down the recipes, the numbers to scale and all that stuff, I get a phone call from this lady. I had her phone number on my phone, but I didn't think anything bad, yeah? So I was very polite to pick up the phone. I said, yeah, hello, I listen to you. And she's like, are you stealing the people from me? I was like, say what? Are you stealing people from us? Are you? I heard some things that you're stealing them from us. And she was very aggressive. And she's like that kind of a woman, like in her late 40s. I should say 30s. She's like 39, and she works out. She wears fancy clothes. She earns a lot of money, and she's all that, you know, like very, I guess, self-aware of her, you know, privileges, or whatever is the right word.
Yeah.
And she was very, like, disrespectful, you know. She didn't even say hi first of all when she called me, and she right away blamed me of, like, stealing something. So you blame me of stealing something, do you want to call the police and blame that I'm guilty in something because of a theft and I should be jailed? And I didn't steal shit, so fuck you. I didn't swear at her at all, but I said to her that, like, never talk to me that way, in that fashion again. I just dropped the phone. I dropped the phone immediately. I had nothing to discuss with her, and she never called me back. Yeah. But I wasn't, I guess, wise enough in some ways as well, because I didn't think of it as a steal, and I don't think it is a steal, but maybe it wasn't the most correct way to do business, you know? Like, I leave the place and immediately I'm in a new place where we need the people, and I was trying to just take away people from the previous place, but that's the business, right? If you guys want to keep those workers, then offer them better conditions, you know?
Yeah.
Like, give them a reason to stay, and yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure why I started telling this story, but yeah.
You're a crazy cunt.
Guess so.
How come whenever I pug a group, not a group, like do a random BG in Temple of Cotman Goo, I fucking smash them. And as soon as it comes to RBG, mate, it's just
because
the
when you
hardest
do the
thing ever.
RBG, man, you're playing against RBG. You're playing against the team, you know?
I know, but it's like the team where you play, they still don't play properly. It's like they just sit in the middle and kill you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I know what you mean.
It doesn't ever feel like there's actually
Listen,
any...
sometimes a simple BG can be much more pleasurable than RBG, you know? You just get more
Yeah, it
pleasure
is.
from just wrecking noobs, you know? And I was...
Yeah, trust.
I did a couple of BGs when you left. I changed my spec to the one that you suggested, right? The way...
What, the crane?
Yeah, the crane cunt piece of shit. And it's different. It's not better than what I had, definitely not. But it's just different, you know. And I didn't even try to like go crazy. I was just doing my work, healing and escaping, and trying not to die. And I out-healed the guy on a second place by nearly 65 million heals, man.
What, did you do more heals than normal?
Yeah.
What, you healed more than normal?
No, that's not the point. The point was
No, but what I'm saying is, did you do more than you normally do?
a bit more, yeah. Though I'm questioning why. Did the crane spec actually allow me to heal more or something?
Yeah, it heals more without you actually having to heal.
It heals because I do damage, right?
No, like, did you run the Invoke Chi as well?
I did, yeah.
Yeah, so that'll go like on its own for 45 seconds, go around to all the people
But it has
on your team.
It has a 3-minute cooldown, which is quite long, man.
Yeah, it is, yeah. No, Invoke Chi doesn't. Or one of them has a 45-second cooldown.
The PvP talent has a 45-second cooldown.
Oh, is it the feet? Is it? Okay.
Yeah, but the PvE talent has a 3 minutes cooldown, man.
It's quite long.
It is. And the Jade statue, to be honest, does a lot of healing as well, boy. So, you know, you tell me what is right or what is wrong, man.
Yeah. Fuck knows, man.
But listen, I didn't like playing with you as the Elemental and fucking Raspat as a DH, man.
Yeah, I don't know why it just doesn't go well.
What were you thinking about? You should try this combo with another healer, you know? Maybe I doubt that was my fault that we didn't do well, man.
Nah, I don't know what it was, mate. It just never goes well. And anything I can play is turbo. Swear to God.
Listen, you and I, we did RBG, PvP, fuck, Arena for the first time with Raspat. It went near the perfect, man.
Did it?
It did. You have some issues with your memory. It went very well.
Fuck knows.
You were fucking enhancement, he was a DK, and we smashed everyone. But you decided to go range, and he was a DH. It was a mess. It didn't feel right. And both of you were dying very quickly.
Yeah, no.
And by the way, when we were fighting at one point against the Disciplined Priest, what we cannot allow ourselves to happen is to actually play against 3 DPS. Because the Disciplined Priest was actually like standing and casting the smite and other DPS spells at you, you know? That's not good.
True.
Of course I try to control as well, you know, but I can do only so much, you know? You can't just count everything on me, you know?
Yeah, I couldn't play a healer in fucking BG, man. In fucking... You know what I'm saying? Jesus Christ.
You could, you just didn't try, man.
Nah, I couldn't. I can barely play fucking damage. Oh God, he's gonna kill me. Oh yes. Oh, I died. Oh, you...
Listen, this Khabib fight with Max Holloway, yeah? It got cancelled, man.
Why?
So it was Khabib against Tony Ferguson cancelled. Khabib against Max Holloway cancelled. With the Max issue was that the weight cut that he had to do in 6 days, because he actually was offered the fight before the 6 days, before the event would start, yeah? The weight cut would be way too extreme. And the doctors told like, hey, listen, that's not gonna be good, so we are not going to allow you to do the weight cut.
Shit.
So it's the double cancel, and right now, Habib, do you know there's a guy, he has a weird name, Alaquinta?
No.
Exactly, nobody fucking knows him. So Khabib is gonna fight him. I know why, because Khabib got lots of Russian fans coming all the way from Russia to America, so they better fucking allow Khabib to fight, and Khabib better accept any fight, because if he doesn't, then it kind of just disrespects, you know, the fans. They waste money. They came all the way across the planet to see his fight, and
how long's the flight from Russia to US?
It will take at least 10 hours, I would imagine. At their released.
What about to the UK?
I said at their released, motherfucker. To
No,
the UK, when I was flying from Estonia, which shares the border with Russia, it was less than 2.5 hours. And
less than 2.5 hours?
Since Estonia is very close from Moscow, then I would say that if you fly from Moscow, less than 4 hours, man.
Shit. I thought it was much better than.
No. It's close. It's close. The Europe is so small, man. There is a fucking lake in Russia that is bigger than the whole Europe, man.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, I feel the difference, right?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Crazy shit, boy.
Oh my god.
The Frozen Heart.
You ever tried playing Overwatch?
I never tried.
No.
You?
Yeah, man. Yeah, I like it. Actually, I'm not liking it so much right now. I'll be honest. It's a bit annoying, to be honest.
I know that GTA this 5, it has like an online version as well inside of a game.
Say that again?
The GTA 5, Grand Theft Auto 5, it has like an online thingy inside.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how this thing works. It doesn't sound right to me.
It's good, mate.
Is it?
Yeah, it's fun as fuck. It's just like exactly what you'd imagine it to be.
It is, yeah?
You can get like all your mates on and they can come over to your house and then you can like go out in tanks and shit. Kill everyone else in the fucking city. But you have something called bad sport, which is like if you keep fucking blowing up people's cars and shit.
Okay.
Because obviously they have to pay for it. If you kill people, it doesn't matter. But if you keep blowing up their cars and shit like in your tank, you'll be like, it will say you will go into bad sport if you carry on.
Yeah.
If you carry on, you get put into bad sport lobbies, and it's just basically full of rich cunts with tanks and like aeroplanes. They just fucking murder each other.
Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah, it's fun, man.
That's a good game for retards, man.
It's alright. Like I used to like going along in a BMX and that with a little shotgun and fucking shooting people. That was fun, man. I wouldn't buy it again though. They're still charging like £50. Crazy, man.
For a gun in the game?
No, for the game. They're still charging full price for the game.
For which game?
For fucking GTA.
Like once, you don't have to pay all the time.
No, but still, you still have to pay full price for the game.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, it came out like fucking ages ago, like years ago, didn't it?
Yeah.
4 years ago, mate, and they're still charging full price.
Yeah, I mean, look at the Warcraft.
I know they're releasing updates and that.
Yeah.
But Warcraft, yeah, I can kind of understand. But a lot of shit goes into
what
WoW.
I was trying to say with the Warcraft, listen to me, Wanker, is that the previous expansions, like the Warlords of Draenor, you can buy this thing for like less than €5 in the shop, man.
Yeah?
Yeah, I kid you not, man. The older expansions you can buy for nearly like peanuts, man, and they cost you nothing.
So they should be though, man. Yeah.
Well, after all, it's
you
just
know,
an expansion,
you can buy the new one though, can't you? You can just buy a new expansion and all the other ones come with it.
You mean via the internet, yeah?
Huh?
You mean, what do you mean by new one? Through the
Well, if
internet?
you buy,
or
like-
what?
Yeah.
Like a digger version, yeah?
Did you?
Yeah. Then yeah, of course, yeah. That's what I did. I don't have any physical copies, you know.
Yeah, I brought it for my brother because I think I brought Warlords for him, and all the other ones came with him for like £15.
I'll go take a piss. I'll be back in soon enough.
Okay.
You won't miss me. Let's put it this way.
I never do, man.
listen, do you know a guy called Tommy Robinson?
Yeah.
What do you think about this?
Mate, he lives literally. You wouldn't even believe it.
Seriously,
Seriously?
across the street, yeah.
Yeah, literally. Like, honest to God, mate.
Sweet. So, did you ever talk to him like, hello, sir? Or
Yeah,
something?
yeah, loads, man.
Wait, how you did ask me how old am I? I told you 26, but you didn't reply to my question. How old are you, man?
22, man.
22, so you're a young bloke, man.
Yeah. Yeah, I know Tommy, mate. That's crazy.
So, what do you think? Any thoughts? Right, wrong? Anything?
He's only the way he is because you wouldn't understand as much. Like, everyone thinks, oh, he's racist, but where I'm from in Luton...
I didn't say a bad word about this guy.
No, but a lot of people do. A lot of people are like, oh, he's racist because...
Well, I'm not part of these a lot, you know, so...
He's just against, like...
He's
where
against,
I'm from...
I think he's against bullshit, man. That was what he's against, man.
It's like, basically, where I'm from is full of Muslims, like, loads of them, man. And like, not like a few, like, fucking shit tons. And they have, like, Muslim grooming gangs, which take, like...
Girls,
young
yeah.
British girls, yeah, exactly,
And wreck
use
them just, yeah.
Yeah, but they keep them in like in circulation
Yeah.
of like rape circles and that.
Yeah, they literally spin these girls on their dicks and just
Yeah,
use them as whores and all that stuff.
Yeah, and he was just like, obviously in Luton that's proper big,
Issue.
but then you got people saying he's racist. It's like, but none of that shit happens where you're from.
Yeah.
And then but yeah, he's good, man. He's a lot better now than he was.
I think so too. He became much better in his own skin, you know. He is much more confident, open, and actually he's a very educated man as well, you know. So
yeah, now he is. But back in the day, it started as like a
bit of an extreme issue, yeah.
Yeah, kind of like a gang. It was a
Yeah.
gang actually at the start.
It was the gang, London First or something, or
Yeah.
But he's not
It
the part of
started
this.
as that. Yeah, not anymore. He left that shit.
So he actually created this thing, yeah.
Yeah, he was the leader, man.
But he kind of just grew out of this thing, and but this thing didn't die, did it? It kind of just carried on without.
Well, the thing is, he wasn't. It's not like a sign up. Like, you can't say I'm part of it. People were just going to the marches and saying they were part of it, but all they were was just like, no.
Yeah.
All they were just like pissheads, and just basically fucking beat the shit out of everyone, and like. They're just a bunch of fucking idiots, mate.
Do you know, like, this American, she's a writer, a politician, like, well, not an elected one, but she's into politics, Ann Coulter?
No.
She's like a blonde female, very, you know, like a slim, beautiful and all that stuff. She's very educated as well, by the way. She's quite smart, and she said something that I thought before before I actually heard her saying this thing. Yeah, is that ideally the way that you should preserve the countries and the cultures is that we have a borders for a reason, right? And when, for example, I travel to UK, I want to experience the UK that I heard about when I was a kid in school, you know?
Yeah, of course.
Do you know what I mean, yeah? If I travel to Australia, I want to experience Australia. If I travel to a Muslim country, I want to experience their culture and their traditions, yeah? If I travel to America, I want to feel America. If I travel to Russia, I want to feel Russia, you know? And right now, what is happening in many countries, they're just kind of just mixing everything together. And for example, in Sweden, they are forcing you to accept the Muslim, like, traditions, okay? And if you say anything bad about this thing in Sweden, you're gonna be labeled as a racist. And even if you are a Swede and you tell, like, why these people don't respect our Swedish traditions, you will be labeled as a racist as well. You cannot say anything that could be politically incorrect, you know? You better always agree with everything, and then you're gonna be okay. And that is not the right way, because this way we're gonna just destroy all the different cultures that we have, for example, in Europe, you know? The northern countries like Sweden, Norway, Finland, and we're gonna have pretty much like Muslim countries all over the place. Personally, I don't have anything against the Muslims, but I think it's only the right if we preserve countries the way they are, you know? So you can come to different countries and experience their culture instead of experiencing just one across the whole place, man.
Yeah, I agree.
So yeah, tell me, he seems to be a cool guy, man. Definitely.
Yeah, man, he's good, but he got a lot of death threats.
Oh man,
Shit
I'm
loads.
surprised that he's actually still alive. I mean,
Yeah.
does he has bodyguards or something?
No, man.
What the fuck?
He's a geezer, mate. Like, a geezer where I'm from is like a...
I know this word geezer. Yeah, just
Yeah,
a
like
cool, cool motherfucker, man.
Yeah, that's it.
Like
And
one,
like,
one of your owns, man.
You come up to him talking shit, he'll just punch you in the face. Like, don't give a fuck.
He's a geezer, yeah.
Because they try to kill him, and he warns them, like, if they come close to him, it's like, I will fucking smack you if you come too close to me. And they come any closer, he fucking smacks them.
I saw the video of a black guy. He was like, I think he was like deeply from Africa with extremely thick as a rubber accent, yeah. And the guy was like, I'm gonna kill you, I'm gonna kill you. And the distance between them was like 1 meter, yeah. Wait, or is it in your country, feet or whatever? The very short distance, pretty much. And Tommy didn't pay no attention, but this black guy took one step too close to fucking Tony, and he just knocked him out, man. I'm gonna kill you, I'm gonna kill you. Get knocked the fuck out, boy.
Actually, I think I saw that, you know.
Yeah, you did. It was
Yeah,
quite
he's
a
in like
viral...
Tommy's like in a suit.
Something between those lines.
He looks
yeah.
quite smart, yeah. I think he was at the horse races, and we do a lot of horse racing over here. Like, everyone goes all dressed up and has nice drinks and that, but this guy's like kicking off, and he's just knocked him out. Didn't give a fuck.
Well,
He's got a family though.
He does
Like,
have a wife, yeah.
All these students fucking see him and they talk shit, and then he gives them a debate. He doesn't swear at them or anything. He doesn't like get angry. He just gives them a debate.
And they all
Like, there was
can't
this
do
one-
shit.
Yeah, like, and they always like, you're a racist, and he's like, say one racist.
And
They
there
can't.
is none.
There's-
There is none. Yeah.
There's none, mate. It's just like fascist ideology that they keep saying he's got, and he's like, well, tell me what it is. He's like, all you're doing is just saying what other people are saying.
These kids actually don't fucking understand, which they're fools, but they're young, so you can understand that. But still, that's not an excuse. Is that if you label everyone as a fascist, when real fascists actually will come, yeah?
Yeah.
How are you gonna define them? How are you gonna figure out who's the fascist? Because you know, when everyone is a fascist, no one is a fascist.
Yeah, exactly.
You better keep a word like as a fascist for real fascists instead of a person who is just having a slightly different point of view from you. You know, so of course, you know.
But there was like a load of rich kids. Like, we've got rich kids in England, obviously. Like, you have everywhere, and they were kind of saying, like, "Oh, Tom Robinson, go kill yourself." So he was like, "Okay," and so he went. he found this kid.
This kid came out from a pub with a beer in his hand.
Did you see it?
No, mate, I think it okay. I just, was kind of trolling.
Fucking little
What a
shit,
fucking cunt. Do you know what? I'll tell you a short story. And this girl, she was actually, it was a bit of an accident. She liked one of my pictures on Facebook. We had a little talk and discussion. But she is a Russian girl who was born in Estonia. Her father is an extremely fucking sick millionaire, okay? Maybe... Sorry, even a billionaire, I'm not sure, man, okay? He owns like some super massive business in Moscow, across the whole Russia and all that stuff. So this girl, she obviously had a privileged life, and she was always living good life, eating well, getting dressed well, getting everything she wanted to get. And once she ends the school in Estonia, she goes immediately to fucking Russia, to top actor school in Russia. And between the actors all across the world, this school is actually respected by all actors, regardless of your skin color, regardless of where you live, right? All the American actors, they know this Russian school, and between the actors, it's like top 2-3 school in the world. So she studies there, she gets a diploma, and immediately she goes to New York City, yeah? To the capital city. And she stays there. He buys her like a apartment somewhere in a fucking skyscraper, like everything that you can dream of. And so we talked on the Facebook, and then I was like, hey, since you're living in America, what is your take on the Trump? Yeah? I didn't say anything. It was just a question. Since you live in America, what is your take on Donald Trump? And she was like, why are we asking this thing? And I all of a sudden felt like, oh shit, I did something wrong, you know? Because if you ask someone a simple question and their response is, why are you asking this thing? You must have pressed something that is hurtful, you know?
Wrong.
Yeah. And I replied right away, like, oh, no, it's all good, because, you know, I thought you live in America, you seem as a reasonable person, I want to know your opinion. Nothing really. And she was like, oh, I don't like him, you know, like this and that, this and this. And then I brought up, like, different other topics, is that, what I said pretty much was like, you know, Obama, he was a very, like, a professional president. He spoke well, but he spoke like a fucking robot, you know, like with these long pauses in between the words, you know. Well, I think as the president of the United States, you talk fake. You don't sound like a fucking human being, you know. You're fake. You're not good. You're fake. And the Trump, even though he's rude and he says crazy shit, he talks like a motherfucker, like a geezer, like a real person, at least in my years, yeah? And I just said this thing, that I'd rather have a person who is an asshole and who will fuck up, but he will be open about this thing, even though he's lying sometimes, whatever, instead of a person who pretends to be perfect, but is still full of shit. I speak about Obama right now, yeah? She kind of agreed. She was like, well, yeah, you're gonna have a point. And then a week after, a Trump tweeted like something between the lines of like, somewhere in the world countries are having like record winter where everything is frozen, like people are just fucking dying on the streets, it's that cold, yeah? And he ended his line with saying that I'm sure they wouldn't mind using a bit of a global warming there. So his point in the tweet was that the global warming is shit, it's hoax, it's a fake. Because there is actually agenda behind the global warming, yeah? I think the global warming is actually real, but it is not as bad as people claim to be. But it's a different topic. That's not the point, yeah? So Trump tweeted this thing, and this girl, she actually wrote a message. You're still following, yeah? On Facebook. Like, she did put a screenshot of Trump's tweet. Look at this tweet. This president is a retard. And so far, I know that I've got few friends on my Facebook list who are actually supporters of a Trump. I wonder when I should delete them. She wrote this thing.
About you?
Well, I felt as if I was one of these people. Yeah. And then I read the comment chain that she had under her post. People like saying, yeah, you're right, Trump is a retard. And she was like, yes, I know he's such a retard. I cannot take this thing. And I was like thinking in my mind, bitch, you are a fucking living a privileged life. I'm sure that you had to work. I'm not taking away that thing from you, right? But listen, your father is a fucking sick millionaire, okay? He got everything. He bought you the apartment in the fucking middle of the New York City. You got it all. What do you have to lose?
Yeah, exactly.
You can do anything. And the people who complain the most are usually the rich, spoiled, little brats and cunts and twats, man. That is the story, you know? And that is not okay. That is not okay, because the same thing happened somewhere in the university in USA. What happened was these freaking... definitely not geezers, they decided to have one day pretty much when no white people would be allowed on the campus. How do you like this thing, man?
It's fucked.
It's fucked.
Stupid.
It's fucked. It's a racism. It's a pure racism. You're not gonna allow the person to be in the campus because he is white, and you can be only if you're black. Even Asian people were not allowed to go in, yeah? And the guy who actually came up with this protest against having white people in the campus, this motherfucker, he told the rest of these idiots to kind of build like a chain of people, only the black people who would hold each other by the hands, yeah? And they were trying to stop people from entering the campus of the university. And this guy, his father was once again a sick fucking billionaire. And like, fuck you, you're spoiled. You have everything in your life that one could dream of for at least a fair and a good start in this life, and you're still trying to fucking do something that is fucking having no sense. Fuck you. That's all I can say.
That's crazy, isn't it?
Just fuck you and it's shit, motherfucker. Just fuck you.
That's fucked up.
That's not okay. Plus, I know that the history of us humans was fucked up, but listen, why a person who is a white guy right now should feel guilty for previous mistakes of white people? He didn't do anything with this thing, you know? he wasn't a racist, you know, like, he didn't do anything, and now we're gonna blame him. Like, fuck you, that's not nice, that's not cool, man.
Yeah, but I doubt you have many coloured people over in Estonia, do you?
We didn't have them pretty much nearly at all, like 15 years ago, but right now we definitely, I see them much more often, yeah, definitely.
I said, where I'm from, I'm like a minority, man.
You mean the white people are a minority, yeah?
Yeah. In their own country, you know what I mean?
But that wasn't the case like 15 years ago.
No. And now it's insane, mate. We got like a whole we got Muslim law is called Sharia law, yeah?
Yeah, I know, yeah.
We have like Sharia law zones and shit. Is that not crazy?
Shit, that sounds crazy, man.
Is that not crazy?
It is crazy.
It's fucking crazy, isn't it?
Well, people say that is a part of, you know, there is a thing called Agenda 21.
Yeah.
I'm not sure why 21, I guess because there are like 21 steps maybe or something, but pretty much to make it short, the Agenda 21 is pretty much how this century started off. How this century started off? Well, it started off with the fucking 9/11, right?
Yeah.
Because, you know, like, come on, like, you know, like 2000 year is still like a closing in of like this like millennium, yeah, like 1,000 years. But 2001, there's one at the end. That's like the first year of the new millennium, yeah. And they start off this thing immediately with fucking 9/11, you know. And the Bush says right away, we have to fight against the terrorists. And if you are not with us, you are against us. It's not like if you are against us, you are against us. It's if you are not with us, you are against us. It means that America went through such a horrible experience and you have to listen to them. And if you don't, you are against America, you know. Ooh, what a great fucking way to start this thing, right? And the worst thing about the war against the terrorism, if you have the war against a specific conflict or a nation, it's the war that will have eventually the ending, right?
Yeah, of course.
But if you have the war against the terrorism, and the terrorism has no face, it has no real, actually, body, you know, the terrorism can be anything. So it automatically means that this war will go on for as long as it should go on, for as long as it's required of it to go on, you know, and pretty much. Some people say that in this Agenda 21, they had a long time ago a plan to do some mass immigrations into different and lots of countries, and to just kind of just take away the identity of the country, you know, and to do something out of it that is not actually itself, you know. And for the reasons why they would do this thing. Well, it goes actually even deeper than that. They say that we have a lot of people living in the planet, like over like 8 billion or something, yeah? And the true agenda behind this thing is to actually reduce the population and make it just smaller.
Yeah, that surprised me.
Yeah, which sounds crazy. And plus you can actually find the footage of Bill Gates, I think accidentally saying the truth, by the way, which sounds kind of silly, but that's the case, where he said that the things they are doing in Africa with all those things and all that stuff, he actually said, these were his words, like, our goal is to reduce the population. You know, they're like, they're giving like,
our population's growing crazy, man.
Yeah, but I guess in a way that they want to reduce the population is to, first of all, take away the identity, you know? Because in Sweden right now, once again, Sweden is the most fucked up place in Europe by far, I think. And I hope, because I don't want any other places to be fucked as Sweden, you know? Is that... by reducing the population, and all they are doing actually is like a 3D chess, you know. You play a chess and you think about your moves like 10, 20, 30 years ahead. And by how can you reduce the population? You simply have to take away identity. You should take away, for example, the meaning of what it means to be a specific nation. You take away your traditions, you take away your songs, your anthem, you take away everything. And eventually you just die until the people will grow up without having any connection to their own country. And there you go. You don't have anyone, no one has the connection to their own country, so you don't have a country, you know? Very simple.
Yeah, that's true. It is. That's what's happening to my fucking country.
I don't know, man. Fucking UK, so many good stories, so many good fucking music, so many good books, good everything. You can't fucking destroy that shit, man. Fuck you.
But it is getting destroyed.
Stop it, fools. Fucking stop before it's too late. Please, I beg you.
Well, the British people are starting to get real pissed off.
They better be. I hope they will be. Listen, the Brits, fuck's sake, the Great Britain. It's fucking in your name of the country, the Great Britain. Be fucking great, motherfuckers. Do the shit. Just do the shit. Enough is enough. And do you know this Justin Trudeau, the Prime Minister of Canada?
Huh?
Do you know who's Justin Trudeau?
No.
Man, you're living under the rock, I'm telling you. The Justin Trudeau is the biggest fucking social justice wanker there is. Long story short, the best example, because it's the freshest one I can give you, is that he was like having a town hall meeting, yeah?
Mm.
So the girl has a question. And in her question, she used one word. That word was people kind. Okay? What this Armstrong said when he landed to the moon: one small step for the man and one huge step for the people kind, or mankind, whatever.
Mankind, yeah.
Wait, I said people kind. Well, I'm a retard. The girl said mankind.
Yeah.
Okay? I fucked up the whole fucking story. So the girl, she is adequate, she's normal. Well, she seemed to be. She said mankind, okay? Mm. And Justin Trudeau, the Prime Minister of Canada, immediately interrupts her and he says, listen, let's use more exclusive words. Use word people kind.
People kind.
People kind. Do you know why you cannot use mankind?
Because it's not referring to women?
Exactly. And another one is because it has a word man in it. And Justin Trudeau is the man who said that every single man should claim to be a feminist. I don't know how you don't know about this thing, but Justin Trudeau is the biggest retard there is, you know.
I just don't give a fuck because it doesn't affect me.
Yeah, but listen, boy, it affects all of us, okay? If you have a retard who's a prime minister and another young kids look up to him, yeah? They're gonna become fucking feminists by the age of 20, and when you're 40, they're gonna fuck you over, you know? So you better keep an eye on this issue, you know? Because we are all, after all, in the same boat, and in a day and era of the internet, the world is actually becoming much smaller. You should.
Hey, I'll go live in the fucking middle of nowhere and just survive on the land.
Yeah, good point. I think that will be actually the key to fucking happiness eventually, you know?
Yeah, it will. It is the key to happiness. And these people, these tribes, there are still tribes. People don't actually believe me when I say this. There are definitely still tribes out there.
Oh, they
in the middle of fucking Costa Rica and rainforest and shit, man.
They are.
That's still very fucking
in South
normal.
Africa, in South America, you can actually find a lot of tribes that actually have never used an iPhone or whatever, you know?
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
they still live in the bush.
They do.
There's actually an island off the coast of Madagascar, which, like, it's right out in the sea. It's just its own island, and every time someone comes close, the people have like white face paint on, and they're all black people, and they throw like spears at them and shit.
Yeah.
Crazy, man. Apparently, if you go there, you just get killed.
Imagine how weird it is if you grow up there and you live in a village and you do everything as it was done like 10,000 years ago, or 5, 6, whatever, and all of a sudden you see an airplane just gliding through the sky, you know? Like, what is that flying there, you know?
That would be crazy.
Well, it is what it is, right? Because you can pretty much see airplanes in the sky all across the planet, regardless of where you are, you know?
That's nuts. But they don't have... A lot of people have stress nowadays over money and shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, they don't have that, man. They don't have, like, a fucking alarm in the morning telling them to get up.
Yeah.
They get up when the sun's up, and then that's where intermittent fasting stems from. Do you know that?
See what?
That's where intermittent fasting comes from. Did you know that?
Explain your point.
Like, so fasting. The reason why tribemen were so well built is because they used to fast, because they used to wake up in the morning and they'd have to go hunt throughout the whole day
Yeah.
to actually then find food and then eat.
Yeah.
Like now, everyone gets up and we don't have to do anything for our food. People just
Yeah.
consume straight away without actually needing to consume anything.
Good point. Good point. Good point.
That's where it comes from, intermittent fasting. That's why they were so lean back in the day, man. There's no cancer, none of this gut health, IBS problems, and all this shit people have now.
Yeah.
People they're just killing themselves, man. Can't help them. You just gotta help yourself, mate. Key to longevity, man, is fucking what you put in your body.
It is, yeah.
Not smoking all that shit and all sorts of that crap, man. You know, alcohol's fine. Drink alcohol. Obviously not in abundance, but alcohol is pretty natural. Obviously some of it's fucking pure processed shit.
I guess wine is definitely a
Yeah,
good one.
you know,
but...
like fine wines and stuff, it's natural, man. It is what it is. Fermented grapes.
Sounds like a fucking excuse, but of course, like anything else, moderation is the key.
I hate wine. I wouldn't drink wine.
Yeah, do you know what? For me, my journey within alcohol it started just recently, like 2 years ago, less than a year ago, by the way. I'll make a long story short. Pretty much, when I was working on the new restaurant. The theme behind this restaurant was beer. Okay. And we would use the beer like in the different sauces, marinades, and all that stuff. So the owner of the restaurant was like, we have actually a Estonian company called Saku. It makes the beer. Even in Japan, you can buy this beer because the beer lovers across the world, they actually even know about the Estonian beer as well, And so pretty much we went to this company that is located in Estonia that makes the beer, and we had like a little masterclass. They explained us how the beer is created, how it's done, and they would give us like 6 different beers to try. One by one, right? In like cool, like real, like freshly made beer and all that stuff. And when I was trying the beer, all of a sudden I realized that they actually all have different flavors.
All beers.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
And it's not like just a bit of a different. It's insanely different flavor, And when I realized that thing, I was like, holy shit, man, that's kind of cool. It actually has a taste. You can feel this thing. It's so different from each other. And then I had a bit of an opening in my mind. Yeah. And because I was trying this beer not like a fucking wanker who wants to drink beer and get drunk. I was thinking with the mindset, of a chef. I want to try because I want to understand the flavor and I want to know the flavor. And I want to know why, for example, this beer is better for that sauce and this one is not, because this one is bitter and this one is sweet. So with the mindset of a chef, I realized the real taste of the beer and how different and deep it is. All of it is. And it pretty much made me appreciate the beer. And before that, I did understand actually how to taste the wine, and I realized that actually wine takes a bit of a time, like 5-10 minutes. You slowly sip on the wine, yeah.
Yeah, you slowly smell it,
and then you can feel the taste and the smell. So it takes a bit of a time.
Yeah, you can't just crack open a wine and
you can't. Otherwise,
smash it.
And if you do, you're just an alcoholic, man.
Yeah.
I actually knew a lady, she was drinking red wine each single day, specifically each night, yeah? And she did this thing for over 8 or 10 years. And I swear to God, her skin color was red, man.
Really?
I swear to God.
Well, it will be red, man.
It will be.
Does something to your blood vessels.
Yeah, there was like a story about this American guy who was drinking like a carrot juice, like 5 liters of a juice, like fucking each day. He definitely was overkilling this thing, And when he died, like his insides, they were all orange, like deep orange, So yeah, I mean, after some time, even a small thing will actually have its effect,
Dun, 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 dun.
But yeah, did you hear this story about like some like journalist from Canada coming to UK, and the UK government like banned them from entering the country?
Who, the German?
The journalists from Canada.
No.
Okay, so you really just don't keep an eye on the news, but
No, I don't give a fuck.
yeah, but it's just funny that, you know, that it was based on the fact that pretty much they were not racist or anything. They just had a bit of a different view from the mainstream media, right? And they did express this thing over their social medias and all that stuff. And they actually were going specifically to meet Tommy Robinson in UK.
Yeah?
They were, I swear to God, I kid you not, man. And for some reason, they just didn't want them to meet up, you know, and they just banned those Canadians, like, you never will enter the Great Britain. The Queen doesn't want you to. Okay, sir. I'm bouncing back to Canada, boy. I just fought some elite mob at level 64, just like I am, yeah? And I popped all my cooldowns, started DPSing, and like 25 seconds in, I didn't even take down like his half HP. Extremely strong mob, man. Like, you won't solo that motherfucker, you know? And he nearly killed me like less than in 20 seconds. Can you imagine this thing? And I used all my protection abilities as well. Holy shit.
Shit, son. Shit, son.
Yeah, that's kind of extreme, boy. Do-do-do-do.
I've been expecting.
I might go to bed, man.
Gotta be on tomorrow?
Yeah, mate. Yeah.
Okay, man, then RBG, right?
Yes, son.
Have a good night, man. See you tomorrow.
Yeah, buddy. I'll see you tomorrow.
See ya, bro.
Take it easy, man.
You too, bro. I will go in 45 minutes as well. Yeah, I was talking right now to one of my guildmates. We were leveling DKs together, but I understood even without him telling me anything about this thing that he gave up. For him, this thing was way too tough, you know. He just doesn't have what it takes to level. I guess he's impatient. Let's put it this way. But I think he was a bit too too quick to judge, because yesterday we had some bug with the queue for the dungeons, for example. It would say that the average waiting time is 9 minutes, but we waited like nearly like 30 something minutes and we still didn't get the invite. And he was like, I guess, just kind of freaked out with all that stuff.
King's honor, friend. Safe travels.
So yeah, I think it was a bit too fast to judge, but it is what it is. He has a right to, you know, kind of stick to his gut feeling and do whatever he thinks is right. But I know that I'm getting this DK to max level. I like everything about DKs. And yeah, I cannot wait to get to the max level and just do some BGs, man. Especially arena, man. Yes, son. Do I have any new talents to unlock or something? I don't, obviously I don't. Enemies struck 5 times by remorseless winter while your pillar of frost is active or stun for 4 seconds. Guys, give me a second. Oh, another lever, come on. Give me a second. That's pathetic. I think this dungeon is just a wipe. There's the tank left. What a joke. Yeah, everyone is leaving. Yes, that's what you get when when the game is so easy, and you just don't appreciate getting into the dungeon, because back in the vanilla, before the LFR would be in the game, you would have to actually travel to most of the dungeons, especially in the vanilla days, and no one would leave. But right now, just hop in, you get teleported automatically to the dungeon, and nobody just appreciates this thing. Pathetic. Yeah, I'll just teleport out, but I don't want to leave the group because I might get a debuff. Maybe not, but I just don't want to risk.
I will hear you. Travel the wastes with care.
That's a bit extreme. Like, this quest is here, and if you want to get the quest done, you have to go here. Damn, that you would have to do some running, man. Leave the queue. Let's try again. Once again.
This had better be good. Hello. Beware.
And you are.
I will finish off those 2 quests before we go here. And yeah. By the way, guys, a quick question to you. You tell me in the comment section. Where do you get your news from? Just wondering. Is it CNN, Fox News, or anything else? Regardless of where you get your news from, you have a right to think that your option is the best one if you want to. I don't mind. But I highly recommend you to check Ben Swan, yeah, on YouTube. You can find his videos as well as on Facebook, I think. A great guy. He just cracks this truth in many different ways, you know, and definitely a bit of a different approach to media and all that stuff. So yeah, I would suggest it to pretty much anyone, just their interesting stuff. So I was watching his videos about like different things and issues, and it was quite interesting. I enjoy this thing. Holy crap, the bombs are hitting hard, man. Better heal up, otherwise I will die. Good. Excuse me guys, I do have to level my mining after all. Good. Fresh pound of flesh. I'm not sure where do I get this thing. Places plague on meat on the ground to attract a proto drake in the Ember Lodge. Ah, it's this quest. Gotcha. There's a very strong giant man. We'll wreck him with one shot, I reckon, if I will even try to touch him.
I'm out of range.
Holy crap. Oh no. Dead. Well, there you go. Though I was wrong, it wasn't one shot, was it? I kind of survived a bit longer than I expected. Not too bad, eh? Parts for the job, parts for the job. Parts for the job. Come on, son. Wait, I should have bought the item from the vendor where I got those 20 pieces of meat. I just get a very strong feeling right now. I should have been more careful. The question is how the hell is NPCs walking around, like which route, you know, like just one road or everywhere? I'm sure we'll find him, but yeah. No! Okay guys, I promise I will try to be careful and stop this wiping thing. It's so funny. That's not good. Dum. Okay, let's get going. Imagine that I have pretty much all the heirlooms, yeah, and how tough it would be to actually be without them. that's something. Because right now I have a warrior at level 35. I leveled him without the heirlooms, only the weapons I had. Looking back at this thing, yeah, it takes actually quite some time to level without the heirlooms. And as a warrior, you will die many times while questing. So if you want to level 1, be prepared to. And don't be surprised if you will. Unless you know, play extremely careful and do all the right moves, all the right steps, then maybe you can actually do this thing without wiping too much.
I'm listening. Embrace the shadow.
You know what, let's just, for sake of a difference in the process of leveling, just go here for a second. Because right now we're being in this region of the map for a little while. And just switch it up and go here. And just embrace the beauty of this zone, because, oh boy, I think it is beautiful. Having a ship like this is kind of bizarre, but yeah, it's cool still. And you do feel so nostalgic if you played this game back in the day. Yeah, as always, I use the same kind of conclusion, is that I guess that's human nature. If you knew something a long time ago and you revisit this place, you get memories. Yeah. And imagine this game will be eventually as good as you will be able to actually to experience this thing nearly as if it's a real world. You know, I speak about the VR and all that stuff. Damn, that's gonna be an experience. And by the way, speaking of the Battle for the Azeroth, first of all, I am waiting for this expansion, definitely. And I was thinking about what they can do after the Battle for the Azeroth, and I had different thoughts, ideas before, but as of now, I get a feeling, just a simple feeling, that they would go actually for this guy who replaced the Lich King, whatever his name was, you know. Yeah, I think it's a bit of a time for him to return back into the action, back into the bigger picture, you know. Come on, son. And this game is only like what, 13 years old? Well, that's a long time. I'm not trying to make it sound as if it's not, but you know, if you think about the real world, you know, the countries, they change, they improve, hopefully for the best, for the better. You know, the new places like are getting built and all that stuff. The new buildings and the roads and everything is changing and all that stuff. Wouldn't it be only reasonable, for example, instead of just always keep on adding the new stuff, just have this thing and just revamp this thing, you know, just I don't know, add a new race of dwarves and gnomes or something who will take over this place and just kind of rebuild it like in a big way and just create something new. Or if you really wanted, you know, by the way, I think I could have taken some flying creature from here to here, whatever. Yeah, imagine having another cataclysm or something. Why not just destroy everything and make it new, or whatever? Or maybe, you know, you could get this zone like somehow like covered into time warping like space, and it could just transform everything into the future. Or you would have a global warming. Everyone was talking about the global warming. The planet is getting warmer. Make a tropical thing out of this thing, you know, like everywhere, jungles, monkeys, lizards, everything, you know. Why you would have this thing here? As if there's a ship that comes here. Interesting. Holy crap, man. Ah, I came here. Interesting. And I'm still in the queue. It says average waiting time is 13 minutes, and right now it's exactly 13 minutes and 13 seconds. So, let's see. Let's see if it's as precise as it says to be, or promises to be. I'm still confused about the zones, because if you look at this map right now, if you run across it, you can feel it's huge. Now, if you look at this map, technically it kind of looks a bit of as the same size as this zone, yeah? But if you cross any zone in Broken Isles, then it takes nearly nothing. It takes no time at all. Just cross the map, even though, well, you're just running on the ground extremely quickly. So it just feels as if the map itself, visually, like a literal map, is kind of just stretched, you know? So kind of every single zone kind of looks a bit of the same size, but actual size is definitely different. You can just feel this thing. Which maybe could be considered as a bit of a cheating, you know? I did something wrong. Wait, so I place the meat. Good, perfect. Easy money. Perfect. Get this quest done. And after that I will come to this camp and pretty much wrap it up for today. Guys, thank you for staying with me. Thank you for your attention. As always, if you have any questions, any thoughts, stories, or anything to share, you should always feel free to do so. And as usual, you can always hit me up on any social media, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube as well. Comment section is always free for a discussion. And yeah, thank you. If you have any thoughts, always share them. I would appreciate this thing. Yeah, this quest requires me to plague Ripple Exterminated. Wait. Good. Ooh, sexy man. Always wanted to play as Abomination.
I can't use that item yet.
Yeah, we'll go here. Wreck them up. Oh yeah, well, the average waiting time is not 30 minutes. Blizzard, whatever is happening, get your act together, please. Come on. The game works across the servers, that shouldn't be that long. And I was kind of previously kind of, I guess, lucky, if I could say so, or if I should even say so, to get a quick invite to the dungeon. I guess I was, but it is what it is, right? Didn't kill anyone. Come on, sucker. Yeah, the model kind of looks cool, to be honest. Whoever came up with this creature in the art department section of the Blizzard was a freaking genius. Come on, son, last one. 30-second cooldown on the item, that's kind of extreme.
Still recharging.
Sweet. Dawn. I never leveled in the zone, by the way. Just a little tiny bit as the Alliance side. I do remember that the Alliance has actually one of the best looking zones in the game here. It's like in between the mountains. It's very cozy, beautiful. And the architecture of the Alliance is, yeah, it's beautiful. The Horde side is beautiful, but the Alliance is for me personally, it's kind of easier on the eye because it has straight walls, lines, and you can just differentiate between the building itself and the rest of things, mountains, trees, quite easily. But where on the Horde side, everything kind of just blends in a natural way. Or, by the way, you could say that, you know, the Horde is closer to the nature in a way. Well, not the undeads, obviously. Yeah, but let's just fly over this map. I spoke about this zone, it looks nice. The music in the game is good. I still didn't get this flying proto drake from this dungeon. I farmed it at least 20 times, I think, and I kind of gave up for a little while. Doesn't matter that I will not continue. Eventually I will. I think I should, I hope. Because you can do it each day, you know. Once in 24 hours. In all the tunes if you want. All the characters that you have, as long as you can actually solo the dungeon. Isn't the zone beautiful? I think it is. Like, extremely. Do you know what, guys? I will get to the Dalaran City, by the way, from here. I will just, later on, just organize my bags and all this stuff. And from there, I will shortly after just fly back to this camp. Camp Winterhoof, and continue leveling. By the way, I was a noob. I didn't know that you can actually get to the Dalaran City, to the old Dalaran City through Pandaria. So in case you didn't know this thing, when you are leveling your champ, set your Heartstone in the new Dalaran of the Legion. From here you can take a portal to the Temple of... the portal to the Vale of Eternal Blossoms. And from there you just enter the building and go up the stairs to the right side. You won't get lost. There's nothing to get lost about. And yeah, you will get the portal to the either Shadra City, which you have here, fair enough. And and voila, yeah, you will get a portal to the old Dalaran. So from here the access is pretty much very vast. You can get to the Orgrimmar City, from where you can actually get to many zones like Uldum and all that stuff. And yeah. Okay, let's give it a shot before I will go off. Let's just try to get this dungeon done. If we're gonna get it done, great. We're gonna finish off this episode number 3 by getting a dungeon done. If not, then it's gonna be okay. Come on, kids, accept. Last one, just 1 DPS. We got the tank, we got the healer. No excuses, baby. None. Whatsoever. Oh, come on. Give me a break. Well, let's wait another 30 seconds. If the invite doesn't come, then I'd say enough. Well, are we getting the invites? Are we? Wait, am I level 65? I am. So pretty much I leveled to 1.5 level by doing mostly questing. I believe that Matt was a bit wrong, my friends, when it comes to thinking that it's going to be that slow. It won't be. Once I get level 70, I reckon, by simply flying fast at level 280, at speed 280, it's a game changer. As well as getting to 310 at level 80, I believe. At 70 you get 280, and at 80 you get 310. I hope it didn't make it too complicated. Yeah, you know, you just fly fast, you level fast. Though I do say that quests, you know, they feel a bit longer. They're released right now in this zone. Dragon Blight. Ooh, I'm even kind of worried to go into this zone. We kind of did dip our toes a little bit. But yeah, I think this zone will be very long. But I still want to get it done. This train. Choo choo. So guys, the queue is messed up. If anyone from Blizzard they will be watching this podcast, boy. It better be. Then guys, please fix your issue with the queue. Damn, that's silly.
I can't attack that.
But yeah, guys, enough of slacking, I guess. You know, the queue doesn't pop. Let's just leave and not waste anyone's time. Only one tank, by the way. It is what it is. Need one extra DPS now, guys. But once again, thank you. Thank you. See you tomorrow. I will find a couple of different topics we should discuss and get the comment section going all together. But yeah, bottoms up, guys. Cheers, and see you in the next one. Goodbye.